thank you for joining me tonight. I mean, just y'all know I'm never okay. There we go. So thank you for joining tonight for my. I guess this is my first sponsor interview for 2020 Baltimore Fashion Week 2021. 2020 is gone. For 2021, I'm so excited. So the young lady that I will be bringing to the screen in a few minutes, her name is Schenika Quattlebaum, and she is awesome. She is also the owner, CEO, creative director, creative everything for Natalia Megan Beauty. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I was trying to find the font they use for that Megan part with the E and the underline. I almost had it, but it wasn't the right small E. But anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to bring to the screen. Da, 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 I'm going to bring to the screen Shanika. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I told you it's going to be a fun ride. We're live, so
Yeah,
expect anything on my end to happen. Okay? Okay.
got it.
So, so Shanika, I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight and be to just for me to speak with you and ask questions, and you can present them. This is live on YouTube. I did share it throughout social media, so I'm not sure how many people will be here, but it's going to be fun. So let's get started. So I won't steal your shine. I won't go over your EPK. I want you to do that. So I'm going to remove myself and then you can take it away. So
All
here we
right.
have Shanika from Natalia Megan Beauty.
Hello, 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 everyone. I am Schenika, owner, CEO of Natalia Megan Beauty, and I've been in business. Actually, it's 3 years now. Yesterday made 3 years. Happy anniversary to me. Um, and what we are is we're a cosmetic line. I started my lip glosses in my kitchen, literally making them in the kitchen. And then it just flourished from there. In the 3 years that we've been in business, I've been super, super blessed with amazing customers, with celebrity customers, from the likes of Jennifer Hudson, Mariah Carey, KJ Smith. Gosh, the list goes on and on. And so that's just a little background on me.
So there you have it. That's a quick EPK. And if for those of you who are not familiar with EPK, it stands for your electronic press kit. But don't worry, we're going to have a class about that so y'all can get it together. So Shanika, yay! So tell us one of the reasons why you decided to start Natalia Megan Beauty. What was the preface behind it? And why makeup? Out of everything else in this world you could have started, why makeup?
Why makeup? Backstory, I'm a domestic violence survivor. So, first of all, I've always played in makeup. When I was little, I played in my mama. So I knew I wanted to do something within that industry. I never really knew what. Fast forward to when I'm an adult, I was in a domestic relationship relationship. And I used makeup as a way to mask a lot of things as far as like, black eyes, marks that I had. And it also made me feel pretty. It made me feel normal. So I knew once I left that situation and got myself in position to that I did want to start a cosmetic line. And that's how that thought came about.
So have you ever, now that you have this cosmetic line, people are speaking. So when they speak, I'm gonna put their information here so can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, good. So Roman said hi.
Thank
Hi,
you and hello.
Roman. So now that you've started this cosmetic line, do you see your brand branching out into bigger things? Like, do you see most powerhouses such as yourself when you start a brand, usually you branch off into the nonprofit sector.
I
Have
do.
you thought about that?
I definitely know that I want to do something with domestic violence. I'm not sure because I have so many different ideas. It's like, whoa, slow down. You can't do it. Well, I can do it all, just not at one time.
Right,
So,
right.
so let me rephrase that. But I definitely am planning on branching off. I want to do more speaking. It wasn't actually until last year last year that I really came out with saying that, hey, I'm a domestic violence. I hid that for so many years. So now that I'm out there, I definitely want to be like the voice to speak with women. Believe it or not, men, it's a lot of men that are in those same situations to just to
Mhm,
kind of help
mhm.
people. So yeah,
Right.
I definitely see myself branching off.
So um did you think when you started your brand and when you finally came out and made the connection of why you started, did you think that you would be shunned by the industry because of one of the reasons why you started?
I didn't think I would be, when I started, I didn't have that thought. I was so
Mhm,
focused on creating a product, like a
mhm,
luxury product that
mhm,
something that I would wear that I wanted
mhm,
everyone to experience. And my products, my price point isn't expensive. I could
mhm.
jack the price up, but I want everyone to be able to
Right.
experience my
Mhm,
products. So I didn't think, oh, I'm going to be shunned. I don't even think it really mattered per se
mhm, mhm.
because everything I endured during that time frame prepared me for whatever the industry can throw my way.
Right.
Probably times 10.
So are you now? I don't know this part. Are you a mom?
I am. I'm
Okay.
a
So,
grandma.
oh, okay, grandma. Hey, I'm a grandma too. So being a grandmother,
Hmm.
I know for me it was kind of, and sometimes it's still kind of difficult. How do you manage to juggle all these balls that are in the air, but still keep them organized and juggled at the same time?
I'm still learning that. If I can be really transparent, I'm still learning that. Because right now the company has just, I feel like it's just blossomed overnight. I'm
Mhm.
being pulled a lot of different ways. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. I have to carve out family time. I'm a wife now. I have to carve out my me and my husband time. I have to at least say hey to my kids, even though they're grown and they're out of the house. I'm still a mother. And then with
Right.
the grandbabies, you still want to spend that time with them. Especially my granddaughters, one is 5 and one is 8. So yeah, it's a balance, and I'm still learning because it's just not enough hours in a day for me.
So, for those individuals who are thinking or have started or are in the beginning phases of starting a beauty line, a cosmetic line, a hair care line, because I'm quite sure the concept of starting is all the same,
Mhm.
what type of guidance or advice would you offer them, from financial to personal involvement to relationship involvement? Because when you're starting a brand, you have to consider all those quadrants in order for you to be sane and for it to be successful.
Absolutely. First things first is to really learn whatever industry you're in. Learn it. Learn what it takes. If you want to make it yourself, learn the price point of the materials. If there's vendors, find different vendors, but also know what your budget is going in. I'm very big on knowing the getting your business together first before you introduce anything, even on social media. And getting your business together means a business plan. Have a solid business plan. Yes, okay, I want to start I don't know, a skincare line. And you just want to make your products or buy your products to put your label on, but you don't have the business side of things together. That doesn't make sense. Do the business first, understand that you're going to have this allotted time to promote your business, to do your business, and then you still have to find time for yourself or you'll be burnt out. And I've been there several times because I didn't have a balance. But most importantly, know, know your background. When I went into this, I wasted money in the beginning because I was ordering things that I didn't even need. And it was just like wasteful spending. I did my research, but of course, I wanted to do something different, and different didn't make sense. It made sense in my head, but when you really get in and put it together, it didn't make sense. So that would be my advice. Do your research, do your budget, do your proper planning, make sure the business side of things, your EIN, your name is trade, all of that is done. And then you can open up yourself to the world.
So as a bit, I forgot my question, just a quick. I was, what color, this is so sidebar-ish, but what color lipstick is that you have on?
Pinky.
It's so pretty.
It's right
I should have asked you. I should have asked you before we went live, but this is what I
Yeah,
do.
it's called Kinky, and this is an actual lipstick. I'm not doing a matte or gloss or anything today.
Oh, it's pretty.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. So with that information, that tidbit of guidance
Mhm,
you just gave them, when you first started your brand, did
mhm.
you have a lot of people in your ear trying to guide you, engage you to the way that they wanted you to go? I know when I started, and it's still like that kind of sort of now. How do you manage that, especially when it's coming from? I was going to say something, but I won't because
I
my
kind of think
followers.
I know where you're
It's,
going with this.
it's,
I get it.
especially when it comes to like family and
Yeah,
friends. Like,
yeah.
how do you? How do you? I know how I handle it, which is probably not the right way. But how do you handle that?
I was the opposite. It wasn't people giving me advice. It was people like, "What are you doing? Like, why would you want to do that? Everybody's
Oh
doing that.
yeah,
You have
yeah,
Mac, you have Revlon, you have this, you have that." I said, "They don't have Schenika." Let's be
yeah,
clear.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's just like, and I say that to say it's just like going to a grocery store. There are 1,000 different ketchups on the shelf. There are 1,000 different other brands on the shelf. So you're not going to just go with Heinz because Heinz been out the longest. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't
Mhm.
listen to the. If I had listened to the naysayers, I wouldn't be here today. And
Okay.
in fact, some people got blocked because I didn't need that negative energy. I was so focused on what I wanted. And then to be honest, those who I needed the support from was there. My husband, full
Mhm.
throttle. He
Yeah.
was like, even to this day, full throttle, fully supported. My
Hmm.
children supported, you know.
Right.
So it, starting this really showed me people's true intent. I'll
Hmm.
say that.
So,
So
so out of the people that were in your circle when you started, you don't have to name names. How many are actually still there? Is a this you can say a lot or a little bit.
um I'll say I've disconnected with at least 6 people. It might be a little more. So yeah. And it was just sometimes you have to do it. It hurts. I'm just loving them from afar.
So now we're going to fast forward to Walmart,
Yes.
which I love. I mean, I go in there and I say, okay, I'm just going to go in for one thing, but that impulse buying they have at the end of every aisle is ridiculous. And I
Yes.
always get pulled into that trap. How did you manage, or well, without going into any type of proprietary information,
Hmm.
how was your entrance into Walmart? Like, could you give guidance to someone who's thinking about going that same route? What would you recommend to them?
Again, do your due diligence. You'd be surprised what's on the internet. If you really want to find something, you will. However, I'm also very active on social media. I find that Twitter kind of works a little better for me, and I'm hashtagging a lot of places. I'm adding a lot of places, and that's how I've gotten in contact with news reporters, with everything just off of Twitter. And that's how it started. And then, of course, it goes to emails back and forth, and you're like, is this real? I actually thought it was spam. So I didn't respond. Honestly speaking, I saw the email. I was like, whatever. It's spam. I'm being pranked or whatever. And then I have received a phone call and it was like, oh, hey, okay, this is real. But I'm telling you, people, and then be ready. Everyone wants to be in a store or they want their own store, or they want this, but you may not be ready because you have to be able to fulfill those orders. So don't set yourself up for failure by rushing. And I prayed on it. I pray on everything. So I
Oh
prayed
yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
You better nowadays. You better.
Yeah.
Well, any period, just period.
Yes.
So for your orders, because I've always been curious of people, like I call us grassroots businesses when
Hmm.
we branch off to a Walmart or Target or um, I don't know, uh,
Anywhere.
anywhere. What are the steps as far as quantity? What do you recommend that they, before they even reach out to those entities, what do you recommend that they have already ready to go if they say yes tomorrow? What
Be
is that,
able
a high number or a low number?
No, it's definitely high. But be able, just think we're going to use Walmart.
Okay.
They get a little over 1 million customers a month. That doesn't mean that many customers are going to shop with you, but let's say even 1% of those customers shop with you. You're talking thousands and thousands of people. So
Mhm.
you have to be at least ready. And that's what I used. I used the 1% number. So I knew, okay, if 1%, just 1% shopped with me, I need to be able to fulfill thousands of orders.
Mhm.
And that was how I did it. Don't go in there if you only have a few hundred of this or a few hundred. You need to have at minimum a couple of thousand of each of your products
Of each
on the
color, of each product,
ready to
of
go. Yes. Yes,
wow.
and then you need to be able to keep fulfilling because again, you're going to grow. The goal is to grow on these, within these entities. So you may have 500 orders. Let's say you had 500 orders the first month. The next month you may have 2,000, and then in 6 months you may be at 10,000 plus orders a month. So you still have to be able to fulfill all of that. That's why I say don't set yourself up for failure, rushing to get in the Target and in the Walmart and whatever, Sephora, whatever store, depending, Macy's, whatever. Be able to fulfill those orders. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure.
So for those people who may be afraid to approach a Walmart or a Target or any of those other stores, do you know, and not saying that you do know, but do you know if the process is any different if you're dealing with a hair and beauty store, which is in every neighborhood? Would that process be any different, or it would depend on their quota and their clientele?
It would depend on the quota. Like if you're talking a Sally Beauty, that's a huge chain. So theirs may be higher than if you're talking of a more scaled down beauty supply store. And their quota may be in the hundreds. So that may be a little different. But again, you still want to be prepared because let's say your product gets in a beauty supply store, you have the best hair care line there is, and it becomes a top seller in a beauty supply store, and then it's time for them to put another order in, but you can't fulfill it.
Hmm. Okay. So I'm going forward and then I'm going backward because
Okay.
I'm tackling a lot of questions that I've always had when I hear people starting a beauty line. So you do the thousand. Say you decide to do. I'm gonna do 500 of each product.
Hmm.
So you do the 500 of each product. It's sitting on your shelf in inventory. Once you Now, for the 500 of each product, did you go to a manufacturer at that point, or when did you decide? You know what, Shanika, I think it's time for us to take this out of here, and we need
Hmm.
to move it over there and let them do what they do because that's their lane. Because I'm famous for saying I'm in somebody else's lane. So the manufacturers, that's what they do.
Hmm.
How did you manage that? And were you and it's a two-part question, were you scared to release your baby to some unknown entity with hopes and prayers that they would get it right?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna go the last question first. Absolutely was. But the first question has orders started picking up because see, even though yes, I'm at Walmart, I'm on Walmart.com, I still have my website. I'm still beating the street. I'm still acting. I always have product on me. So with that, as orders picked up, every month I was selling more and more and more and more and more. And then the deal came with Walmart. I knew at that point it was time to kick it up a notch. Was I scared? Absolutely. I was, but it's my same formula as if I was in my kitchen. Everyone's, because it's manufacturing, it's NDAs were signed, all of that. So, and I haven't had an issue. Thank goodness. But
I think that's I don't know. Well, I don't plan on going that realm in business anyway. But I would be because of me, I would be very because I'm so hands on with everything I do. And so I would be kind of nervous to just let go.
oh, I
Like
was.
to
I
get the
told
people
every
letting go, like, okay, you do this.
I
Okay.
know I got on their nerves in the beginning. It was awful. I was like, okay, are you doing this? Don't forget this. Make sure to add this and do this because I want it to be the same. They were like, okay. I know they wanted to be like, don't call anymore.
So how many times did you visit the manufacturer during these beginnings? Because I know you Shanika, I know you took a trip over there. I
I
just want to know how many times you went.
I did. I really did. I went, well, because, okay, I would have gone more, but we're still living in COVID days.
Yes.
Um, but I went twice, but I was always on like Zoom and
Okay.
WhatsApp and all of that. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
always.
Okay. 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 So my thought process regarding relinquishing my baby would be,
You
so I'm on
can't.
track. Okay. So
Yeah,
do you,
it's hard, especially when you're doing
yeah.
when you literally start from the ground,
Hmm.
and then it's hard.
So are you, I'm quite sure you are, because this is, you said you just had a birthday. Your business just had a business versary
Yes,
for 3 years, correct?
3 years. Yes. And I'm like, for everything that we've accomplished, and it was actually under 3 years because we just hit 3 years yesterday on August 9th. So it's like, okay, I would have never thought it.
So if you could do it again, what would you do differently?
If I could do it again, I would carve my schedule better. Because, like I say, I did hit that brick wall more than once because I was trying to do everything. Well, I wasn't trying, I was doing everything. Um, I would definitely have not wasted a lot of money in the beginning just on trying different things. And okay, well, let me use this to fill the lip gloss tubes when I could have just bought the machine. It was just a lot of wastefulness in the beginning. So that and my time management, I definitely would do different.
So they have a machine. They have
Uh-huh.
a machine you could buy to put in your house to fill the lip gloss.
Yeah.
Girl, you a bad man, jamma. That's all I can say. Y'all can have all that. I'm good. I don't want no parts of it. I got enough going on over
Yeah,
here.
they
That's
have machines that you can
awesome.
buy. So you just get a machine for every color and just get to going.
Everybody bow down. I ain't doing none of that. I'm sorry, I'm not. So what kind of what type of obstacles, and not nothing personal,
Hmm.
nothing personal, just whatever you care to share. And if you don't want to, you can say I don't want to talk about it, and I'll go to the next question. But what type of obstacles in the form of guidance
Hmm.
could you share with the audience in the way of, okay, well, if the, prepare yourself for this, and I'm only talking about the type of industry you're in.
Right.
So you're in the beauty, and well, fashion is beauty, period.
Yeah.
But for what you do, you actually make the product that intensifies the beauty application.
Hmm.
So in what you do, what type of obstacles did you run into where you were like, you know what, I don't want to do this, and without being specific, I don't want you to say names or anything.
Hmm.
Just if you can generally discuss it, that could help the next person that's trying to enter into the realm where you are.
Right. That's where diligence comes in. This industry, let me be honest, they're very good people in it, but then there are a lot of people who look at you because you're their competition. They don't want to help. And when I say help, it's something as simple as advice. They don't want to give that. Again, it's just cutthroat. Um, and so I experienced that a lot, which made me go even harder on my end. So literally, I didn't have guidance. I didn't have anything. I reached out to people. Some responded, some didn't. That's fine. One thing about me, I'm going to figure it out, and I did. But what I try to do on myself is help the next person, because again, you can do it, but you can't do it like me. I can do it, but I can't do it like you. And I'm not threatened by you. And I don't, so for me, that's what the biggest obstacle was like finding someone to be like, hey, don't do this. Or, hey, this industry can be cutthroat. So, these are the do's and don'ts. I kind of had to figure that out on my own. And I wanted to quit sometimes. It's just like, what am I doing? Like, I don't have time for this because it felt kind of high schoolish at times. But I wasn't born to be a quitter.
I feel I am the same exact way. And
Hmm.
you know, although I'm in fashion, but I'm on the production side of it, which I flip and love. I wouldn't have it any other way. Um, for what you do. I just really commend you on the steadfast that you have for your brand. I noticed that you're coming out with hair care products too.
I am.
Oh, when is that? When is that? You gonna be making some girls? When is that coming out? Because
So
I
right
am a
now,
girl here, so I'll be your number one customer, boo.
oh, thank you. Right now it's in trial. I have a few different stylists trying out products. So that's where we are now.
Okay. So do you have an anticipated launch date? Okay, wait a
Well,
minute.
because we
Before you
kind of
say
got
anything,
started late, I
before
know
you
in my
say
mind,
anything, people, it's just an anticipated. She's not saying it's going
right,
to happen on that time. Okay, now go. Now go.
right. In my mind, my anticipated start date would be right before Thanksgiving. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what other products are you planning on adding to your makeup line?
We're going to add the brow gel, brow powder, all of that. We're adding eyeshadow pencils, um, highlighter, and then eventually we're going to do foundations.
Okay, are you going to do well? What contouring would fall into the line of foundation, correct? Okay.
Well, highlighting.
Oh, highlighting is see. I just if you go into my bathroom, you would think that I'm the artistry makeup artist of the year because Lord knows I have everything. But
Uh,
so
so yeah.
tell us about the experience of you providing makeup or beauty products for the celebrities.
Um, at first it was like, oh my gosh, they want to use this, and then when you go on Instagram and you see their posts, it's like, oh. So of course I'm reposting, but now I don't know. Everybody's like, I'm just so humble. And I guess I am in a sense
Mhm.
because I'm just like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like, really? And then at first I was like, well, how did they find me? And what would make them want and why me? And now I don't even ask. It's just like, oh, okay, let me get this package together.
Right. Like, okay, I need to get this done by this date.
Yes,
XYZ.
yes.
Yeah, that's how it is.
But I'm definitely thankful, that's for sure.
Okay, hold on because never firemen always want to ride past.
Right.
Um, Never fail. So whenever if you watch any video of mine, it's
You go
going to be
on mute.
something. Vegas, we're 100% live here. I can't. So what other not type, but what other colors are you going to branch out to neon colors? Because I love a huge collection of colors. Like I'm starting, you know how they do this in the middle of I'm starting to do that. I feel so fancy tonight because I did it. Um, so, have you thought about branching out to like really deep pigments that like really pop?
Yes, we are. We're definitely going to branch out to I call it my electric colors.
Okay, electric. Okay. Have you thought about doing any type of tutorials or learning platforms to teach women to teach individuals how to apply makeup? Because
Um,
makeup is universal, so I don't want to single anybody out.
right, right. No, definitely, because our customers are
Yeah,
universal.
absolutely.
Um, I definitely have. It's just like with COVID, it pushed a lot of stuff back.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
now we're open, but as you see, I don't think we're back to wearing masks and everything. So it's kind of hard right now to just be up close and
Hmm.
personal and face to face.
No, I'm not talking about in person because those
Oh,
those
okay.
days are gone,
Okay.
sweetie. We not.
I was like,
Yeah, we all virtual here. We need to be safe
okay.
and we need
Yeah,
to
but
be
that's
here to
something
build our
else.
brand. Right, right,
Working with a makeup artist that's going to
right,
do some virtual
right. Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So when you do those, let me know and I can share it with our audience because I think that would be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I don't know. I don't have any questions coming from the my audience. But on my lives, I used to call them something else, but we won't do that on your. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. We'll keep it clean for your interview. So working with the PR company that I really should know, and I forgot, Ernest Jackson.
Hmm. Hmm.
Working with him, how does that experience been with you? Because that's another, you now you're taking your baby and you're handing it to somebody
Yeah.
else again.
Yeah.
Again, it's like you got all these quadruplets all over the place. But how was it for you to actually relinquish your, um, I guess, your confidential property to a PR firm?
It was hard. And because again, it's my baby, and I'm like, no one will do it like I do it. Um, but I talked to Ernie like, ooh, I don't know how many times we talked before. It was like, okay, you can send the contract now. I was like, well, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And what about this? And what about this? But he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's definitely phenomenal. So that I feel good. I'm like,
Mhm,
okay, whatever. Just give me the information.
mhm, mhm. And I'm just, when he reached out to me, I'm like, huh? You're doing Fashion Week? I'm like, yeah. He said, really, sis? I'm like, yeah. And then that was an event bomb drop, y'all. Yes, I do Baltimore Fashion Week, and it is happening in 18 days, right?
Yes.
Shanika is the official beauty sponsor for Baltimore Fashion Week.
Yes,
So
I am so
yes,
excited. You
she
just
she sent me an email. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Some on the side of my bed, playing supposed to be playing Candy Crush, but emails come in, so you review them. She's like, "How many front row seats?" I'm like, "What? What time is it?" I was like, "This woman never
I
sleeps."
don't. I'm up. I'm like, how many? Because that's gonna be different from everything else.
I'm just glad to have you here. I think it's pretty awesome and cool to have you as an official beauty sponsor. It's just so awesome. So for let's talk about pigmentation for a minute.
Mhm.
So for those individuals that had pigmentation color, so me, I'm gonna talk about me because it's about you, but I'm gonna talk about my face. So I
Okay.
have eczema, which causes severe dry spots in certain areas, and then some places I don't have the strong pigmentation, but there are light and dark areas.
Right.
So from although you're not doing foundation yet, with the lip, I like to call it lipstick. With the lip, the eyeliner, I mean your eyeshadow, your lashes. I want to talk about the lashes after you answer that question.
Okay.
Which of your products that you have now will help minimize that? Although
It
you
was
don't have the foundation yet. So
right.
I do my foundation and I do now I'm ready to beat my eyes because I've been told I apply my makeup weird. Like okay, so you beat your face. So did you do okay, girls, ladies, here we go. So do you do your brows and then your eyes?
No,
How do you do your makeup?
I do my eyes. Well, actually, my brows I don't have to worry about because I had them
Microbladed.
not microbladed, not tattooed either. What is it called? Oh my goodness, I can't even
What's
think.
called
But
beautiful,
it
but look
lasts
at them look
18
like they
months.
don't
So
look
my
like
brows last 18 months.
oh, they look
And I just
good.
have to get them cleaned up. But prior to that, I would always do my like my eye. And I don't know why. I think because I do things backwards at times. I don't know. And but I would do my eye and then my brow. But now since I don't have to do my brows, it's just do my eyes, my lashes. If I'm popping lashes on, or if I put like today, I just threw on some of my mascara. Then
Okay.
I'll do my face. And
Okay.
for me, I'm oily, so I always have to use like the matte prep,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
I'm not full oily. I'm all over the place.
Okay.
I'm oily in spots, I'm dry in spots, I'm normal
Okay.
in spots.
So the foundation you're coming out with, of course, you'll mimic it um to what's the word I'm looking for? To be a complete coverage for your
Yeah.
skin tone. So how difficult do you think it would be if you haven't tackled that monster already? How difficult do you think it would be for you to create makeup to kind of sort of pacify all these different skin types they have out there?
It won't be difficult. My daughter has eczema, so she's one of the people who I use to test them.
Okay.
She's a tester. I'm testing different types of skin with different types of, and that's why I'm waiting on foundation because when I come out, I want it to be for everyone, for all different types of skin
Mhm.
types, for
Mhm.
all different coverages. Because some people may not wear foundation. They don't want that heavy, full coverage. They just want something light. So I
Right.
have different people with different skin types and different maybe skin conditions, so to say, testing out everything.
So when you were little, did you? I keep bouncing because that's what I do. I bounce. I'm the bouncing ball. So when you were younger, did you ever think that back then the younger you would
Mhm.
be where the mature you is right now? When you were little.
I didn't.
Hmm.
I didn't. I just knew I loved playing in my mama's makeup, wearing her heels. And if I'm honest, I went from wanting to be a teacher to a lawyer to what else? A doctor. I was all over the place when I was younger. And even as a teenager, I was all over the place. I was like,
Okay.
okay, well, I'll be an attorney because I'm not gonna say I'm argumentative, but you can't tell me anything. You have to make it make sense. So I'm gonna
Right.
come with
Right.
questions.
It's me too. So what's your? I'm sorry, y'all. Sidebar. So what's your personality type? Do you know it?
I don't know. I just
Girl, you
know
need to
that
get
you
that
can. I
done.
need to do the personality test
Do
because
it, and then I want to know what your I want to know what your letter.
okay, okay, because you just can't tell me anything, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, oh, it's the sun is out. I clearly see it's raining. Like, no, I come back with questions. It has to make sense.
Right, right, right.
So I'm that type. And
Oh,
so
okay.
my
So am I.
parents used
So
to
I'm
be like,
not
you're
crazy.
gonna be an
Okay.
attorney because you always argue. Like if they told me no, but why? Why are
Yeah.
you saying no? I
Okay.
need the explanation.
Right, right. I need
So
to know why you're telling me no, so that I can
right.
and conquer that no, and you can get yes. Right.
So that was me as a child.
Okay.
And an adult. I'm still the same way.
So how does your family receive your success? I mean, I'm
I
not quite sure. Let me take that back. I know they're excited for you, but you know how you have, and I'm not saying because I know my family's watching. I'm not saying that my family is like this. I'm just saying there's always one in something, whether it's close family, far away family, or just somebody in your immediate circle that acts like they're there for you, but they're really not.
but they're not because it's sort of a I hate to say envy type of thing, but
Mhm.
it's like you're winning. And they were the ones who in the beginning was like, well, why do this? And why do this? Because there's so many other companies or so many other people doing the same thing that's on a bigger platform. And then they see that you're flourishing in your own lane. And it's like, oh, I'm so happy for you, but you can feel it. You know who's
Right.
real and who isn't. And I've gotten that.
Okay.
My first
So
appearance in
how did you handle that?
you know what? I take things with a grain. I don't expect much from people. And this sounds bad probably, but if I expected too much, I would always be disappointed. So to protect myself and to protect my feelings, it's just like, oh, okay, like I've done nothing to you. I'm here. I'm still the same person. I'm just at a different level within my business. That's all. Schenika doesn't change because
Mhm.
Schenika is with the old Schenika in 2019 when I started. 2019, yeah, when I started, it's the same Schenika today. I'm smarter,
Mhm.
and but the grind is the same,
Mhm.
and I may not have as much time. Now, granted, I don't have a lot of time on my hands these days, but
Mhm.
this is what I want. This is what I'm working for. So you either understand or you don't.
So let's talk about these lashes you have on that site. Give us some kind of happiness. So what made you decide? Because I've always thought that would be such a complicated arena to enter through, just to walk through those doors to be able to develop and share that part of the beauty industry because it seems like nowadays it's really competitive.
It
Like
is.
before our interview, it's like, okay, so do I put on lashes? Do I put on 45 coats of lashes to make it look like I have some? So, with women that have to have that dialogue with themselves every day with your lashes, explain to them if you can. Well, I'm quite sure you can because they're yours, but explain to them how your lashes would benefit that everyday look they're trying to achieve.
Well, of course, I have over 35 different styles of lashes. One thing that I looked for was the thickness in the lash. My lashes are triple layered. So I heard, when I first was doing my due diligence, people were saying that they're using 2 pairs or 3 pairs of lashes. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And then still putting mascara on, that's defeating the purpose in my eyes. So I did my research, found different vendors, and finally found the phenomenal vendor. And the lashes are triple layered. You get 25 plus uses out of them. And I've recently added magnetic lashes to my lash line for women who don't want to use glue, but still want to have that lash. And it's literally just putting the eyeliner on your lid and the lash just snaps on. And I've had first timers call me like, I got these lashes on in 20 seconds. What is this? They have never worn lashes before. So again, I put out products that I want, that I know other people is quality. For me, it's quality over quantity.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I've been really scared about the magnetic lashes. It's just the thought of how they work. Like you put a strip and then just snaps to it. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just unreal to me.
Well,
But
some
my
people have
niece, my
allergies,
niece
eye
has it.
allergies, and they're allergic to glues, but they don't have lashes. So what's the
Right.
alternative?
Yeah.
And then you have people who are allergic to mascara and who are scared to use glue because they don't really have lashes to begin with. So I'm
Mhm.
like, let me bring that on too.
Wow. So I guess that was not a hard decision, a win-win decision
Yes,
for Natalia. Okay.
it was. It
Where did
definitely
that come
was.
from?
My grandbaby. Her name is Natalie, but she's part Dominican, so her Dominican name is Natalia. So I was like, well,
Okay.
that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. 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 Now, was she at your very first launch, the grandbaby?
I try to keep her out of the limelight. Folks are
Oh,
crazy.
okay. Yeah.
So I say when I do add my kitty line, then I'll have her and my other grandbaby Kamora. They'll both be like the faces of the kitty line. But for the most part, I've tried to keep her out of the limelight. But of course, she's like, Grandma, can you show me how to make a lip gloss? And Grandma, can you? I'm like, okay, Natalie.
So now that you drop that tidbit of information, let's talk about this kids line that you just. I like the way that intro was pretty, it was pretty sweet. But since it was so sweet, man, you have to talk about it. So
Okay.
tell me about the kids line.
Well, I'm going to start off with like the little cutesy lip glosses for the children, smell good chapsticks, that sort of thing. But again, I'm also working on hair care. So I'm going to do a kids hair care line as well. So they're going to have kind of twofold. They'll have their own lip glosses. That'll be created by my granddaughters, and they'll have their own hair care.
Now, are you gonna? I'm gonna make sure I wasn't muted. Are you going to launch for the kitty line because you would have already had the experience with the adult line? Are you going to package it and launch it all at the same time, or will it be in stages like the other line?
With the kitty line, I want to kind of launch the beauty side first, and then I'm going to do like little nail polish. It's going to be so cute. So I want to launch that side first, and then the hair care will come after. I'm just trying to, but then I was like, well, maybe I'll do it all together and have maybe one side this and one side this. So that's still kind of up in the air.
Mhm.
But we're looking at next year of launching that line.
Okay.
Hmm.
So to do that, because it's for children, that process was it extremely different from I'm quite sure it was the adult brand, like
Hmm.
the process, I know the formula was different
Yes,
because you probably can't have everything in the regular lip gloss like you have for kids.
exactly.
Was that hard to measure?
Um, it was difficult because again, it's for children. And
Hmm.
then with me, I don't like a lot of grown colors on kids.
Hmm.
So I wanted to keep it cutesy. Yeah, they have pinks and all of that, but they just won't have like the adult side of colors, the reds and
Oh,
I
okay.
don't do all that.
Okay.
They have the sparklies. They'll have, they'll have like the sparkly lip gloss and the sparkly nail polish. They'll have that type of thing.
The girly stuff.
Yeah, the girly stuff. And then, like I say, I use my grandbabies, And then when I was doing this research, I was like, okay, let me go on YouTube and look at these videos these kids doing these days. Let me go here and look at this, just so I could get acquainted with what they're doing, what they're wearing, what they're talking about, how they're looking, because there's a lot of kid YouTube videos out here. So yeah,
Well,
it's a whole different bubble though. Hence, I never had enough time in a day.
speaking of YouTube, as we dive into social media a little bit, how I know for me, I
Hmm.
find it I find it difficult to keep up
Hmm.
with the everydays in doing social media marketing. Like I finally made the decision, I think it was 2 days ago, that I'm hiring me an assistant to do for everything that I have been doing for the past 18 years. I'm having somebody else do it. It's
Right.
time that my little birdies have
Time to let it go.
right. It's time. So how, because now it's interfering, I don't have a personal life and I'm over it.
Right. Right.
Um, so how does I know it's important to have social media, but you dropped a bomb when you said that Twitter was your biggest friend. Now
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter, but I kind of sort of jumped off of it because I guess the arena that I'm in, I figured that IG would be the spot and Facebook. But now talking to you, I'm like, well, I won't curse. If we
Right.
want to talk, I probably say some words, but I have to rethink that. So talk about social
Yeah.
media and how important it is after you get your brand started to always stay vibrant on that. I mean, I'm taking notes as well when
Hmm.
it comes to social media. I don't proclaim to be the queen of it, but I mean, I just sometimes I wonder like how do they do this?
It's a job in itself. It really, really is. And honestly, Facebook should be the last. You promote on all. Let me say that. But Facebook changes their algorithm so
Yeah, they
much
do.
where people aren't seeing your
Yeah,
posts,
they
or
do.
they'll see it a week later.
Yep.
And then, so Facebook would be number three for me.
Mhm, mhm.
uh, IG and Twitter are probably, depending on the day, they can switch one and two.
Mhm.
But definitely, I noticed that IG has changed algorithms a little bit too. So you would have to learn the algorithms because they're
Right,
forever changing. Whereas
right.
Twitter's platform is just that platform. You just tweak the same, and you can post your IG post to Twitter. You can set it up so that whatever you post on IG automatically
Oh,
goes
they
to
go to
Twitter.
Twitter.
That it goes to Twitter and to Facebook. So you can use IG as the main platform and set it up to link your Twitter account and your Facebook account, and the post to go both places.
Yeah, I'm gonna give me somebody to do that because I'm so over it. I'm so over
Job.
going back and
You have to
forth.
learn the best times to post, and
Well, well,
it's
I
a job. It's
know,
a job.
I kind of sort of know that. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to our e-newsletters. Like I
Right.
know when they'll read it. I know the
Right.
times that we'll get the biggest read. But when it comes to social media for Facebook, I kind of sort of know. Now
Right.
for IG, I'm learning that, and so I'm bringing on somebody next year to handle that because I'm over it. Um, now for you, you just said that it could be on a good day it's Twitter, IG, and then Facebook is always the last.
Yes,
How do you schedule your posts or
I
do
do.
you do okay?
I schedule. And then sometimes I forget to schedule. It's like, oh shoot. So
Well,
I'm
we know that's
physically
not what
like,
you say, but okay.
right, I'm physically like trying to do it. It's a lot though. That is literally a job in itself.
Yep,
Literally.
yep. That's why I'm giving it to somebody else next year.
Yeah, but
Yep.
and see, you're there. I'm not there where again it goes to my expectations of people, and I have to get better. I'm not there where I want to give out my passwords
You
and I want to
either.
have, because then it's like, wait a minute, I need to see what you're posting because if you post something crazy, I have a problem. So
Oh my God.
that's where I'm at. So that's why I try to schedule my post as much as possible.
But do you feel with your posts that eventually you're gonna have to get somebody?
I do. I
I'm
mean,
there
I know I
now.
am. I
I'm
know
there
for a
now, but
fact
I'm
I am.
scared.
But again, it comes to Nobody, and I have to get over that. I mean, this is my baby. I feel like I've not even feel like I've birthed this company, and I know how my posts are. I know wordings, I know hashtags, I know all of this, but it's just feeling comfortable enough to find someone who I trust that could
Yeah.
handle the social media platforms, you
Mm,
know?
yeah.
Because again, that's giving up personal information, that's trusting them to speak on your behalf because whatever they post, you don't know, you may not know what they're posting because you may be on a Zoom or something, and then you see the post and you're like, what the hell? Like, this is not what I said. So, yeah, this is how my mind thinks. This is how my
Yes, Shanika, come through. Come all the way through. Yes, that's what I wanted. Watch these numbers go up now, Lord.
I'm like, but again, no, this is nothing of what I would say. It doesn't even sound like me. You're like, oh, I got to do it over. So, not there yet. Maybe next year. Look, the ending towards in maybe summer of next year. But right now,
Hey, I feel
I
you.
think too.
I'm right there
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
I'm
My
not,
thought
I'm not
process is
there yet.
totally different.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm trying to get there, but I'm just not there yet. So, as we wind this interview down, do
Mhm.
you have any? Well, before you give advice, I want to know if you could be any fashion accessory. Why? What would you be, and why?
If I could be any fashion accessory, an accessory. I'm like, an accessory.
That's kind of broad. That's
Right. I'm
broad
like, that could
category.
be anything.
Anything.
You know what? And this may sound kind of grandma-ish,
No, no.
but if I could be an accessory, I would be like a vibrant scarf or something. And I say that because on a rainy day, colors will make you happy.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I would. On
Okay.
top of other things, but
Okay. Okay.
colors
And do
make me
you
happy.
and do you have any? So, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is red. So that's why
Red.
if you
Oh,
see
that's right. Did you hear
me,
me changing? Like
I'm
red is
always
my color. I
in
get red.
red lips. I have so many other colors, but I think probably six days out the week I'm wearing red.
Oh
And I'm like,
wow.
"Oh,"
Okay.
where so tonight I did something different.
So now we have Lady Business who joined us. She's in. Okay, I hope I get this right. I believe she's in North Carolina.
Okay.
I met her years ago. Awesome, phenomenal woman. Very like business savvy. Lady, we can need to get you on here, Lady Business. Like she is a powerhouse within herself. Like awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. I believe she's in North Carolina, but she is a really cool person. And I'm telling you right now on this live that I need to interview you. So I don't want to hear it when what are you talking about? So what kind of advice could you offer for those who are watching now or those who watch on the replay
Mhm.
for starting a business and um starting and I guess maintaining it to the point where you don't stop, you just keep going forward.
So the best advice I could give anyone, again, is to know your industry. Always be teachable because the industry's changed. I'm already in a 2022, 2023. Just an example. So know your industry, be teachable, do due diligence, and understand it's not going to be easy. There'll be days where you won't sleep. There'll be days where you're like, what am I doing? I quit 100 times in my head, but I've never actually quit. So understand all of that is okay. Failure is okay. Um, what take anything that doesn't work, figure out what didn't work, and then revamp yourself. That's it. Just understand, it's not an overnight. You won't be a millionaire overnight, but you put in the work. Who knows what's possible? But definitely know your industry, do your due diligence, always be teachable, always, 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 always keep up with, let's say you're in the fashion industry, you always want to keep up with fashion. And like I said, we're still in 2021, it's only August, but I'm already in 2022 and moving
Yeah, me
forward to
too.
2023.
Me too. Right. I
That's
have
it.
my
My
day.
2022 plan is done. I already know what that is, and now I'm on 2023.
Well, I'm not in 2023 yet, but I
Yeah.
know in 2022 we have. I'm sorry, y'all. backflashes. Um, I am in 2022, have an idea of what I'm going to be doing in 23.
Right.
But as far as the date, I don't have that yet for our event or anything with the foundation. But I'm moving forward for 2022. Like I'm over. I'm
Yeah.
we're over.
21 is done.
Yeah, it's done. It was done for me June 1st. I was done. Like waiting. I'm just waiting for the event to come, and so we
Yeah.
can move on.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's it. Just stay the course, never give up, and
mhm,
don't listen to the negativity. Tune that out.
mhm. And that can be kind of hard to
Hmm.
not listen, especially when it's coming from someone who you consider to be in your circle.
Absolutely.
But you have to figure it out, and eventually you will figure it out, and it'll be the best move you've ever done.
Ever.
Mhm.
You have to do what's best for you. You can't live your life for other people. No,
Right.
it's your life. You live your life as you choose to live your life and be okay. You're going to lose people. Okay. They'll come back or they won't. You just love them from afar.
So I'm gonna drop some nuggets here. That lady business. She says I need to come to the show.
Never
Oh
home
my
about
God.
it.
Be teachable.
Hmm.
Always revamp. Be in 2022 because that's if you're in business, you're not. This year's done. You're done
Exactly.
in June. And then tune out the negativity. But
Absolutely.
you made a really good point when you mentioned, I, if I remember correctly, because these questions are moving. I need them to have a seat. But when you mentioned starting over, like there's nothing wrong with starting over. And like Lady Business said, and like you said, revamping is key. I'm in the
Absolutely.
process of doing that right now, and it's the hardest thing to do, especially when you've been doing it for so long. But sometimes that revamp or that reset or the restart needs to happen so you can
Absolutely.
have a new walk,
Yep.
and it's just needed sometimes. So it's not a bad thing if you have to do it. Just if you do it, just don't stop. So if you say, "Oh, I'm a revamp," don't start and then just stop right
Stop.
there. Keep going.
Absolutely. I've had to redo some things. It's the business. You find out what works and then you see what doesn't work and you're like, okay, well that didn't work. But how can I finagle some things or redo
Right,
some things to make it work? And
right.
that's part of being a business owner. And it's gonna happen. It happens to everyone, let's be clear. That's why you have so many discontinued products and discontinued this because it didn't work.
Right, right. Hold on, I'm gonna add something to the feed real quick. Okay. So tell us where, or tell me, or tell them, and I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the banner, where people can find you on social media.
So on
What's
social
your
media,
IG? Oh
IG,
no, what? Because you love Twitter. So what's your Twitter?
all of them, it's the same. It's
Okay.
Natalia M Beauty. And that's across the board with IG, Twitter, and Facebook.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this at the bottom. I should have did this before we start. Natalia and Beauty. Scroll across bottom and banner. Boop, where is it? Oh, there it is. Boom. Ow.
There it is, in red too.
So that's what you said. You said you wanted red. I give you what you
Yep.
want. That's what we do around here. So I am so grateful and honored that you took time out of your personal and business schedule to be here tonight for this brief interview. I look forward to meeting you in
Yes.
person. It's
I
going to be
can't
so
wait.
cool. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited for you to come and just being a part of Fashion Week. I'm so grateful
Mhm.
that you decided to put faith in us with your baby to share it with our models and everything. And I'm just excited that you're here. And I want to thank you for being a sponsor. And I'm just excited.
I
So
am too. I'm like,
18
okay,
days.
wait a minute, what's the date? What's today's date? I'm like,
We have
before
18
she knows,
days.
we're like, what am I gonna wear? Wait, let me figure this out.
Girl, I don't figure that out until like the week of.
Really?
I don't. The week of, if I go to
Hmm.
the events, the pre-events, then the day of,
You
I
put
know.
it together.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna wear this. And then I say I'm gonna wear something, and then it'll change 4 times before I'm
Yep.
actually satisfied.
Yep.
So, you know, it's a girl thing. It's a girl thing.
That's
I don't know if
right.
guys do it's definitely a girl thing. It's definitely a girl thing. So I just want women, we got a comment. She's, I'm not putting, she said, you were dope. I'm assuming she's talking about you. This
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So thank you again. For those of you who are watching this on the replay, you can catch Natalia in Beauty at Walmart. She's online. That's the website, Natalia in Beauty. Please go and support. She's a Black-owned business. As you can see, um, it matters. All businesses matter. So please support Schenika. And Schenika, thank you again
Thank
for
you
being
for
here.
having me. I've enjoyed this interview. I can't wait to meet you face to face.
Girl, we're gonna cut out. We're gonna cut up. We're gonna cut up. And next year you gotta come because girl, the schedule for next year is just like, yeah, you need to be my friend for next year. Yes, you do. Yes, some places you won't be able to buy a ticket for. I'm just saying. IJS. So yeah, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Natalia and I are going to hang out a little bit. I'm sorry, Shanika, Shanika and I are going to, who's the owner of Natalia and Beauty, Megan Beauty. Yeah, I got it. We're going to hang out a little bit, but I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Shanika, do you have any last words?
Just stay the course, and I wish everyone success who's out there who wants to start their business, who's in business, and it may be slow, you may be revamping. Don't give up, y'all. Trust me. I've done this in 3 years, under 3 years. It's just 3 years yesterday. So stay the course and know it's going to come together.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shanika. And I'm Sharon. So thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing all of you at Baltimore Fashion Week, August the 28th in 18 days. I'm so excited. We have three of the hottest. Okay, let me fix my hair. So we have three of the hottest designers to showcase on this side of the Mississippi River, and you don't want to miss it. Oh, and to close out the show, we have 5 models in our segment called Styled. So if you follow us on social media, you saw that we put out a marketing called Styled with a gentleman walking like he's in a show. So that segment is for models. So we have 5, I think it's 5 models who are walking that they are shutting down Baltimore Fashion Week. Never ever been done before. But you know, when people come through, you got to come through for them. So I'm looking forward to that. If you it's too late to place an ad in the booklet, but you can do it for next year. But again, I'm Sharon Nixon. You can find everything Baltimore Fashion Week at baltimore-fashionweek.com. And I'm going to try to end this right this time. So bye. See you on the 28th. Well, I'll see you before then because I'll be going live. But bye. Thanks.